Hello everyone, and good evening. I've been told by some people I need to speak louder, but not too loud, because that's loud. Anyway, welcome back to The Sacrifice, played by our lovely selves using V20 rules, because we're a bunch of grognards who've been playing this game for a long time, and new things scare us. So, the new, I don't know why I hold up a blank screen, the new backer PDF for Chicago by Night came in, and it is so pretty. Seriously, Onyx Path, good job. And I'm one of the 5 people that really liked the photography art in the V5 books, because it reminded me of the LARP stuff. But the illustrations here are friggin' immaculate. They look fantastic. And the picture of the Tremere spider climbing up the walls is hands down one of my favorites in Vampire. Anyway, before we get started tonight, guys, I have some happy news. What's up?
I just saw the pictures you put for Raven and Tom.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, my lovely Raven does not feel up to joining us again tonight. So we wish her well, and hopefully she'll feel better soon. In the meantime, we hope Butch Hartman doesn't decide to sue us. How's it going, Russell? Greetings to you.
He might. He's super Christian.
Yeah.
He probably hates this.
He made Danny Phantom.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the most Christian cartoon ever.
He had some weird thing with the Kickstarter he did where he basically tricked a bunch of people into starting a Christian Cartoon Network.
I heard about that.
Christian Network?
Nicholas Maloney, how's it going? Alright, so, before we begin, I do want to say, and I've been saving this announcement for on the air for you guys, we got 2 new patrons this week. So, a massive, huge thank you to our new patrons, Nicolas Gravina and Zack Norwig. You guys are awesome. We super appreciate it. The patron funds help us do stuff like pay for books. It keeps our SoundCloud online, which I really got to get to updating. It helps us get equipment. It doesn't actually go to any of us. It kind of just goes to CAFCON as an entity. So, thanks. We super appreciate it. Cool Imp, how's it going, you professional badass? You know what? It's going to be the best hour of my night, Imp. And I thank you for it. All right. Previously on The Sacrifice. You guys were contacted, and I really gotta turn this chair because it's rubbing up against the door and making noise. You guys were contacted by the Sheriff of Chicago, Damien, in the name of Prince Kevin Jackson. Apparently, there are some new arrivals to the Chicago political field, and the prince is expecting some diplomatic envoys of particular import. You don't know too much more than that, but in the file you were given, he outlined 3 people of particular interest. The coterie's old friend Genghis, a Nosferatu who goes by the nom de plume of Crook, and Noah Flyboy Gruel, who took after Tyler, one of the second Bruja Primogen of Chicago, and controls the airports. So nothing enters or leaves without his say-so. You guys had managed to bust into a secure area of the airport with Orpheus's help, and right before the session ended, Ava whammied his assistant with a particularly potent bout of entrancement that's going to be affecting her for the next year. Ava managed to lure his assistant out into the hallway, and that is where we rejoin the coterie for episode 2 of The Sacrifice.
Oh boy, the 2 people who facilitated last night's events aren't here.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 questions. I don't know if I should call you Nick or Salocinolin. Are you the same one that's a new patron for us? Because either way, thank you, welcome, and I still got to send you a personal thank you on Patreon. Number 2, how is it pronounced? Please educate me. I am a dumb white boy. Mazzy, Anae, welcome. Good evening. All right. What do you do?
Ah.
By the way,
download,
I look forward to the antics of Lee trying to keep Adam and the Black Snow Prince in line during a sensitive diplomatic summit. This is going to be a sweet meet.
He's gonna just knock us out and then like get worried about it.
Diablo Rising, both problem solved.
They couldn't be with us today.
I will keep that in mind, dude. Again, thank you very much. You're awesome. Continue. I'm sorry. I gotta do what Yusuf suggested. I'll try responding via typage like you cool kids do. Go ahead. The floor's yours.
That's what we're here for.
So we're basically putting the other two on autopilot, right?
Orpheus and Ava are going to be here for the remainder of the scene. Yeah, and then as soon as you guys are done in the airport, they're basically going to fuck right off.
Alright.
So what was our purpose in coming here again? We wanted to...
So there are 3 people that Prince in Chicago that Prince Kevin Jackson is afraid might try to ruffle some feathers in a way that is going to send this summit straight into the toilet. And he has contracted you, via Annabelle has contracted you, the new Weeaboo Harpy of Chicago, to try and smooth things over politically, get them to not cause trouble. So when the diplomats enter the city, things go a little bit smoother. He had also requested that you actually be there to pick up the diplomats, take them to the meeting at the Succubus Club. So
the meeting's tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I believe we were here to try to find out where the guy running the airport is, or to try to get his... She's not a ghoul, right? She's just entranced with him, like from what we saw in Aurora.
Yeah, you auspexed her, and she is completely mortal. She is not bound to him in any way. It's just a regular mortal human lackey. And she is staring at Ava in a way that might be slightly creepy if the Black Snow Prince didn't deal with this like literally 3 times a day.
Everybody looks at me like that.
Look at me with your special eyes.
I'm assuming you're the most charismatic Black Snow Prince, so you do the...
I don't know if it's just, I can't hear Xavier, though. I don't know if it's just me.
I can hear him.
I don't know.
Good.
So, yeah, leave the group and come back yet. I don't know.
Basically, I'm going to try asking the lackey questions through Ava, since she's the one that enraptured her.
Okay. And you, she's acting as your...
Mouthpiece?
Not quite your Mala, but she's your protege, I suppose. There's not an in-game term for that. So she'll sort of follow your directives. Yeah. Why didn't I think of that?
I'm gonna ask her, the man who runs the airport. What's his name? The other vampire.
You can either use Flyboy or Noah Gruel. Both names are known to you.
I'm gonna ask her through Ava, does Noah Gruel personally check who's coming in and out of the city, or does she report to him all that information?
And sort of like just dreamily, there went my fucking phone. Bye, phone. sort of dreamily staring off into the distance. I don't know. He just kind of knows things. I guess he's got connections in the city. And she'll sort of like slowly reach a hand out, and Ava will sort of haughtily pull away. Naughty Crumbum, how you doing, buddy?
Then I'm going to ask what her connection to him is.
I mean, I work for the guy.
So he owns the airport? Or is he her boss?
He works for the aviation department.
Do I know the name of the 2 vampires that are going to be coming into the city, or what flight they're coming on?
You don't know shit about them.
Okay.
No, they exist.
I'm going to try giving her like a directive through Ava.
Okay.
That, it's the best way to phrase this.
Give us his personal records. We're gonna go to his house.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm going to ask if where we could meet Flyboy, maybe, or does she know where he stays or when he comes in?
I mean, he's here right now. His office is behind Terminal 2. What does that have to do with anything?
Cool. We're gonna pay him a visit.
Wouldn't you rather just stay here with me?
You know what? That's a good point. We'll leave Ava here.
Till the sun rises.
Go ahead and sit on her lap and tell her some stories.
And then what?
So we're gonna go to Terminal 2 or 3.
It's not. She did specify it was behind Terminal 2, not at Terminal 2. So
okay, well,
you
we
can
need
kind
to
of
get there
figure.
first, and then we can go behind.
Well, how about we have her escort us there, so if anybody asks any questions, we can be like, oh, we're with her.
Now, you do know, you are aware that there is security patrolling the area right now, and if you remember from last session, they look to be particularly heightened.
And I'm also a gargoyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be my solution, would be to have her escort us there.
And come up with some bullshit excuse to why we need to see him.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's the real question: Are you going to attempt to disguise yourself to blend in at all? Or are you going to go down the fucking tunnels in a bright red kimono with a katana swinging?
I'll say I didn't necessarily wear the kimono today. I'm dressed more Rococo style visual K. So like a really eccentric rich person.
Okay.
I still have the teased out hair and the makeup on and everything, but I have like the vest and the cravat and fluffy sleeve button up shirt, Victorian style high pants.
Gotcha. Okay.
User wants to know what the name of your katana is.
Looking fly as fuck.
Yes, that Versailles visual K look.
Okay.
Or Versailles.
So Ava will sort of like take her by the hand, and she is just all too happy, almost dragging Ava down the tunnels, this really twisting path that sort of navigates the back ends of the airport that nobody ever really sees. And it's a good thing you decided to take her with you, because wouldn't you know it, there's a literal gauntlet of locked security doors and security checkpoints, and another door and another checkpoint, another door and a checkpoint, a door, and then finally, past all of that, you know, you get a couple of weird looks from the guards manning the checkpoints, but you know, Felicity flashes her ID. I believe her name was Felicity. Flashes her ID, and you guys are waved through, and maybe get a couple of muttering whispers behind your back, but they're just jealous. So, you eventually arrive at a floor entirely comprised of office cubicles. Every one of them is see-through, like glass walls. And there's one light coming from further in on this floor. It's the only office that has frosted walls in this tiny little blue square that seems to illuminate the whole scene.
I'm going to suggest that Felicity and Ava stay out here to chat for a little bit while the rest of us go into this room.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like that idea. Let's do that.
So does the door need a key card to open?
No, doesn't look like it needs a key card. But again, this is an office, not an office building. So depending on how you're going to enter, its occupant is going to be, what's the word? Extremely aware?
I'll wait for Xavier to come back before we fully decide how we're going to bust into this place. Is there more than one entrance in here? Like, is there a back door?
Nah, it's one cubicle pressed against the wall, and on the other side of the office is this window that sort of overlooks Terminal 2 and the airport proper.
Okay.
Nah, Imp. I mean, have you seen how weeaboos name stuff? They'll open the Japanese to English dictionary, pick out 2 words that sound cool together in English, and then string it together. Which
is exactly what I did.
Which I don't have anything to back this up, but I am damn certain that's how the Japanese scion Yukiko Kuromizu got her name. So, Onyx Path, I see your game. Adam,
Yes.
share with us your philosophies about life. Dead air is the enemy.
Live life, live life every day. Just kidding.
You can make a pretty decent shonen protagonist when it comes to the way you're able to speak about things.
Yeah.
People die if they're killed.
Yeah. Live your life, all your life, man. I can find out my haiku that I wrote for class.
Oh, Christ.
They asked you to write a sonnet, but you wrote a haiku because Japanese poetry is superior.
Did this count right? This works.
Oh, Austin. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you have something for Jess to do.
So, Lee, how would you like to enter this building? There's only the one door. Or we could break through the window.
I'd rather not break through the window. I actually don't have flight on this character.
Then I suppose we're doing this the old-fashioned way, as I just kind of turn open the door and step in.
Oh.
Okay, problem number 1, it is locked.
Okay.
Not a key card lock.
Actually a problem.
That's up to you.
All right, somebody go get a water heater.
It's fine, I'll just pick the lock.
Are you actually trying to jimmy it, or is that just a reference to our general stupidity? Okay. In which case, let's go with dexterity plus larceny. And I'm going to call this one...
All right.
Let's call it a difficulty 7.
3 successes.
3 successes. Good enough. Now, are you attempting to do this sort of silently, or are you just going to pop the lock and barge in?
Well, I'm picking the lock, so, silently.
Okay. You hear the telltale little click. The door sort of separates from the threshold ever so slightly to let you know the lock has been breached. And what happens next?
Your ninjutsu is excellent.
I prefer to call it,
Subarashi.
Breaking and entering.
Yeah, it's only illegal if we get caught. Anyways, let's go look for this guy.
You'll have to educate me one of these days in the ways of ninjutsu. I only know the way of Bushido and the samurai. I say as I open the door, being the first to step in.
Right now, again, are you trying to be stealthy about this and sneak in, or are you just push in and... I'm here.
I will be as silent as the wind as it flutters through the cherry blossoms. Would you like me to roll?
Yes, I would like a dexterity stealth at a difficulty 8, but I'm going to give you +1 die just for your description there.
At a difficulty 8?
Yeah.
2 successes.
2 successes. You gently lay your hand upon the door and press. The door swings open, and the black snow prints glides in like a breeze without a sound. You can see the occupant of the room is sitting at this very, very nice metal desk. He's got a laptop open, typing away. The blue light from the screen just flooding, illuminating the room. The only other light you can see comes through the window that dominates the far wall across. The lights of the tarmacs of people waving planes in as they touch down and take off. And it's a very serene, almost sort of zen scene that plays out as the planes ebb and flow like clockwork, like waves coming in and out, the cycle, the sense of purpose continuing.
What do we actually want to say to this guy?
you slip back out of the room and whisper.
Yeah.
Sekiro stealth kill. No. Pull out my
He's the only
katana.
one there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could decapitate him if you want.
You know what's funny, Russell? So, like I said, if you weren't here at the very beginning, we now have the backer PDF, and it's fucking beautiful. But the actual, like, in the works PDF for Chicago by Night 5th edition. And I was going through the Kindred of Chicago session after running 5 years of Chicago games, and it's literally just dead, Diablerized, dead, probably next, dead.
I mean, we Diablerized a few people.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, no one.
Yeah, allegedly. It was werewolves. That's the official story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee, did you have something you wanted to say to this man, or did you not take any social dots?
I can't speak to this man. I'm not going to be very roundabout. So yes, I will speak to this man.
Okay. I say as I kind of slowly open the door to allow you in, as well as the JoJo gargoyle.
Yes. Are they me on the door? Yeah.
As Lee passes by, I was like, I see I have my own ninjutsu ways.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll say, you flyboy.
Boom! He slams the laptop shut as you make your appearance known. The room is plunged into darkness, and with a click, he switches on a desk lamp. As a better light illuminates the room, that you can see that Flyboy is an African-American gentleman, very, very well dressed in a sort of businessy way. He doesn't look at you. He just maintains his gaze out the window, calmly watching the planes coming in and out. Something I can do for you?
Possibly. Are you aware of a meeting happening tomorrow night?
Chris, stop messaging me. I'm just kidding, Chris. I love you. Chris Zack, White Wolf Media page, y'all. He's a good dude. He sort of cocks his head to the side. Afraid you're going to have to be a bit more specific, friend.
Does it look like he has an emergency button under his desk or something like that, or anything he might be reaching for?
Give me perception alert. Actually, no. Let's go with a wits alertness. And this one's probably going to be at an 8.
I'm going to spend a willpower. What are my dice rolled under? Ooh, good thing I did. 1 success.
So now that there's actual light in the room, you can see a little bit better. There is definitely a security button underneath the desk. He's not reaching for it yet.
I'm kind of silently going to inch closer and closer to the point where I could theoretically just cut his hand off if he tries to go for it.
I'll say, well, how specific do I need to get?
You sort of... Kindred, right? Our kind meet every night. Just, wondering which one you're referring to.
The important ones?
He's like, but Lee, you're the only one I find important.
Oh, nice.
But if you're here to jerk my chain, I'm afraid I got some work to do.
Look, there's going to be a couple people coming in, and there's a lot of links in this chain, and I'd rather all of those links be comparable. Not comparable, complicit.
Ah, that's what you're referring to. This is about the delegates, yeah?
Yes.
All right. All right, I'm aware of a group of, shall we say, alternative kindred coming through my domain tomorrow night. Supposedly shipped in a couple heavy-duty speaker cases and due to be unloaded and delivered directly to arrivals. No scanning. Someone, I don't know who, already paid me for the service, and I've already arranged it. But I absolutely intend to find out exactly who I'm receiving into Chicago. I will prevent them entrance if they have doubtful motives. Or maybe I might just lock the cases and send them back to JFK.
I'd prefer if you didn't. If they did have motive, rest assured, I'd be the one to deal with that.
Friend, I don't know who you are.
And
All I
it's
know,
better that way.
you want to try an intimidation?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go with manipulation, intimidation, diff 7.
4 successes. I don't have a specialty. 3.
Sad-ree.
So he doesn't reach for it yet, but you can see his hand sort of slide across the desk right over where the button is.
I just cut his hand off right now.
I don't know who you are, but I've got an airport and a city to protect. Now you come in here, I've never heard of you, I've never seen your face before, but you're going to attempt to push me around in my own domain?
I simply want to assure that everything goes smoothly.
Perhaps you're overstepping the boundaries you think you have, Mr. Flyboy.
You show up behind him. Yo.
Is it your job to protect the city, or is it the prince's? Now, you may not know who Mr. Lee is, but certainly you've heard of me.
Oh, yeah. The Toreador. I've seen you around.
I'm sure you have your opinions of Toreador, but I can assure you, this one is not as incompetent as you'd like to hope.
Can you give me an assurance that I'm not letting some dangerous element into my city?
I can assure you that if you were, it'd be dealt with very quick. If it comes to that.
Man, we have no flexes right now. And the fact that Orpheus technically isn't here, so we can't be like, we're the people who stopped the werewolves in Chicago.
Yeah, we don't.
You think we can't handle threats? It's like, we're the friends of the people who stopped the werewolf problem.
I know that guy.
I was there for that live stream.
All right. All right. I'm not looking to ruffle any feathers with the powers that be. I see this is important, and I was paid well after all. If anything goes wrong, the blood's not on my hands.
Thank you. Now, if you
As he
excuse
tries
us, we have a couple more stops to make.
Fuck. No.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd replace the Mona Lisa with the statue of Goku, but probably a figurine of Haruki Suzumiya. Haruki, yeah.
Christ.
Preferably the one playing the guitar in the bunny outfit.
Yes.
At least that's what the Black Snow Prince would do. Actually, not if it's the Mona Lisa, I'd replace it with the wall scroll.
That's fair.
Or you throw a hug pillowcase? I guess you feel
You'd replace the David with the statue.
All right. For all intents and purposes, and the absolute pant-shitting terror that Lee Anderson inflicted upon him, the airport is probably secure, at least as much as you're aware. Orpheus and Ava have a conversation that basically amounts to, hey, want to see something weird? And they fuck off in Orpheus's sidecar. So the rest of the night is yours.
And without a vehicle?
What Mr. Flyboy, he said some cases were being dropped off, right? Obviously the ones with the vampires in them.
Heavy-duty speaker cases.
Yeah.
They were kindred, or he said alternative kindred. He did not bother to explain. They were coming in from New York, and somebody paid for it. He don't know who.
And they're going to be delivered somewhere.
They're going straight to the arrivals section of the airport.
Okay.
Are they Mona Lisa?
And I believe the letter that you have from Prince Jackson actually did have a gate number on it.
Awesome.
So we can be there to pick them up.
Meet the delegation at 2200 outside Terminal 5 Herrick's Grocers in the arrivals area. Yep. You know, now that I have the PDF, if I was a half-decent ST, I would have mocked it up and stuck it on Roll20 for you guys. But you know what? I guess I'm just not good enough for you.
Most aren't good enough for the Black Snow Prince.
Also, the prince has arranged for you to have a car to use with the delegation, and he's provided you the keys. So, who has the keys at the moment?
Probably Lee.
I thought for damn sure you were going to say, yeah, maybe Orpheus.
Yeah.
Oh,
He left in his sidecar.
Alright. Well, what's next on the stop?
Well, you have your choice. A Nosferatu by the name of Crook, whom your coterie has never met before, or Gabriel's old friend Genghis.
Who's closer?
Let's see here.
You know, the Ghost Pepper Buffalo Wings I had at Sonic were pretty good to address something happening in the chat.
Given that my knowledge of Chicago is unfortunately lacking for somebody who's run this for 5
like
fucking
air
years.
hot dogs.
Genghis, that's interesting. Would you give me some sort of geography roll? Obviously, that's not a stat, but whatever you think would best comprise that. Intelligence, academics. Well, no, not really.
We're going to use intelligence technology to Google it.
You know what? You're amazing, and don't roll those dice, because that's an automatic success.
The Google Gibbous.
Let's just say they're about equidistant and give you the option.
Alright. Who do you think is going to be easier to deal with?
We can probably just beat Genghis up.
Could just beat Genghis up, which means we don't want to go into that already heard.
So you want to see the Nosferatu first?
Yeah. I'd rather deal with Nosferatu.
I guess let's go meet Crook.
All right. So the file that you were given by Prince Jackson sends you to a bar called Crook's Lounge on the north side of Chicago. When you arrive, the bar is visibly closed and barred off with a large warning sign on the front reading, "Please wear safety equipment when entering." Judging by the plastic scattered around the building, there's a small bit of scaffolding, some busted sidewalk. The place is undergoing heavy renovations at the moment. There's really not any signs of life in the general area at the moment. What would you like to do?
Signs of unlife. I'm going to heighten my senses with Auspex.
I like it. I like it. Which sense are you going to heighten?
I will heighten my sense of hearing.
Yeah, unfortunately, V20 isn't like V5. In V5, everything gets better. In V20, you got to pick one. All right. So you sort of reach for the vitae, feel it kick throughout your body. And as you do, your hearing comes online to an unimaginable level to a normal mortal. You can hear the shuffling of every single leaf in a tree a block downway as it shudders in the wind. You can hear what sounds like footsteps 3 blocks in the other direction. You can hear the crunching sound of tires on gravel 4 streets that way. Attuned to the night. What do you do?
I'm going to be looking for any noise coming from inside the building.
Ooh, that's a little difficult. So, give me wits alertness, and this might be one of the very, very few times I ask for difficulty 10.
No successes.
The place seems quiet.
Yeah, I guess I'll just walk on in.
Yeah.
Okay. So the door's currently closed off. Do you just sort of like rip it open and stroll in?
If we must.
I mean, it might be under construction, but there's probably like a hole we can just walk through, or like a back door we can go in.
That's true.
So I ask you again, what do you do?
Or you can
Let's
do
try to
the,
find an
back door.
alternative entrance.
the plumbing. No.
You can do the plumbing if you want.
I'll find
That's gross.
Just turn into a snake,
Well,
swim through the plumbing.
is that one of my things I can like meld into stuff, but I don't know if I can like meld into the other side of the wall.
No,
This is-
Interesting, Adam.
Yeah.
Interesting. So,
Yeah.
for our dear friends who don't know, Adam is a gargoyle. He's not a Tremere. And gargoyles have a discipline unique to themselves called Visceratica, which makes them, like stone, able to interact with stone, and he can actually meld into the earth. So, that's an interesting idea. As you sort of walk around and scope the building, you find 2 things that might be of use. There is a very, very small window that you might be able to squeeze through if you try. Very low on the ground, almost in the gutter. And there is a heavy sort of metal fire door around back that looks like it has a slot at eye level.
I say we go ahead and try the window.
Can they just fly through?
Yes, you can just fly through.
You know, these damn kids throwing the rocks.
I'm going to suggest a little window.
I guess that's our best option.
I will attempt to go first.
Okay, so you kind of have to get down on your hands and knees to see through the window. And as you do, your heightened hearing picks up just ever so slightly, ever so barely. But this sort of nauseating, slurping, sucking sound. And as you peer through the glass, and again, you're almost belly on the ground at this point, you can see there are 2 figures on the inside. One looks like a horrible burn victim dressed in a heavy leather coat, as he's clutching on to a young blonde man, maybe early 20s or so. Doesn't really appear to be resisting much, but as you would obviously recognize the kindred bite when you saw it, he's not necessarily in pain, it looks like.
I just tell him to let us in.
You don't want to just kind of slip in?
No, I don't want to scare Nosferatu.
You don't want his little flared things to come out, shoot poison at you?
They get ugly when they get scared.
Yeah. Cool if I'm not on my knees. It's
just squeezes 2 pus pouches at the side of his neck and shoots them at you.
It's fucking disgusting.
It's a Nosferatu, man.
Yeah, I believe it. They would have. They're basically like Wayangs.
I fucking forgot the Wayang. I think you mean Bob's Wayang, but
yeah, Bob's Wayang, specifically.
if Mr. Lee wishes to just ask him to let him in, and I'll let him talk first rather than just kind of sliding in.
I'll kind of just knock on the window.
As you knock on the window, the Nosferatu sort of bolts up, tosses the guy just across the floor, out of the eye shot of the window, and just disappears into the darkness.
Should have slipped in.
Hey, we saw you.
Can I just like yell at the window?
I mean, you can yell.
I mean, not yell, but like loud enough so somebody on the other side of the glass can hear.
I'm going to kind of whisper to Roxanne to go to that heavy metal door entrance in case he tries to run out through there.
Yeah, I'll block the door, yeah.
All right. You position
I'm
yourself.
going to go to the other door.
The front door?
Yeah, I'm going to tell Lee to call us if he needs us. But we're basically trying to block off the 2 main entrances.
Okay. So, Roxanne around back, Josh giving him the reach around front. Lee, what do you do?
I'll say, hello. I'm here to talk to a Mr. What was it, Krug?
Crook.
Crook?
The possible owner of this bar.
Corridor Reacher. Yeah, damn it, Yusuf.
There is nothing but the silence of the night as your answer.
Look, man, I just want to talk. Don't make me come in there. I got another stop to make. And if I have to come in there breaking down the door, I'm not going to be very happy about it.
You are the most unpleasant Asian. You're just the guy from 14 Weapons scowling at everybody. All right, give me manipulation, intimidation.
The silent, burning hatred of the Asian. Diff?
7.
Ah ha ha! 4 successes. With 3 of those being turns. Oh!
All right. So, as you sort of say that, the window slides up suddenly, and as it does, a hideous face, materializes in front of you. Again, looks like this horrible burn victim. His skin, this like sort of. He looks like a mummy, almost stretched and pulled and pinched in odd locations. This big set of sunglasses at night, hiding what must be even more grotesquerie in this area. Big heavy jacket covering most of his body. He lowers the sunglasses. These piercing, beady yellow eyes stare out at you. We're closed. Go to the Steel Horse.
I know you're closed. That's why I'm here.
But the window's open.
My name is Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Sounds familiar.
Yes.
So he basically looks like a one half of Two-Face in The Dark Knight. Except the whole half of him looks like
Two-Face with aviators. That's a really good analogy.
Except he just has the one face. The hurt face. Oh man, now we need to play a Chronicle where we're all Batman villains, but we're vampires. And the antagonist will be
Gibbs on not Penguin.
You don't want to be the Penguin Gangrel?
Not particularly. Hold on.
Mr. Freeze Nosferatu.
Okay. So, You guys are standing by yourselves at opposite ends of the building.
I'm going to try to slowly open the door and go in.
Okay, yeah. I won't make you
You want me
roll
to roll stealth again?
Nah, he's distracted. You probably have more than enough dice to do it. So you slip in, and you can sort of hear the conversation between Lee and Crook echoing from the basement area.
I'm going to kind of very slowly, carefully, gracefully make my way down there.
Okay. As you sort of make your way through this place, dust everywhere, pieces of the floor missing, and there's that really granular, gritty sort of cement stuff that you seem to step on every step of the way. You get to the basement door. The basement door is covered with this huge sheet of like plywood. How would you like to sort of force it off?
Is this the only way into the basement?
No, there's the fire door.
Okay, which is where he's talking, right?
He's currently at the window. So,
okay.
Yeah, Lee and Crook are having a conversation like Wilson from Home Improvement right now.
Well, basically, if he tries to make a run for it, I'm just going to katana through the plywood.
Okay.
But can't do that. That's in the end.
So you just strike a reverent pose, rest your hand on the hilt of the katana, and wait for Bushido to call, I guess.
Yeah. Just like, I wish this motherfucker would make a run for it.
Been wanting to katana somebody all night. Vasil, how's it going, buddy?
Hello, Vasil. I enjoy your company.
They have convinced the airport guy not to stir up shit, and now they're trying to convince the Nosferatu not to stir up shit.
Go ahead and talk to him, Mr. Anderson. Give him the straight talk.
Ah.
The one Jimmy Carter gave to Americans and they didn't like it.
I'll look at him and say, so, Mr. Crook, are you aware of a couple of, what was the term? Alternative kindred coming in tomorrow night?
I might know a thing or two. What's it to you?
That was rhetorical. Of course you know you're Nosferatu.
He sort of smiles at the remark.
Look, I don't know what you would have to gain by interfering with this operation. But you were put on our list probably because, you know, Nosferatu are resourceful and they have pies and many fingers. So, I'm just here to ask that you don't interfere with it.
Keep your pie out of my fingers.
His eyes sort of like back and forth as he rocks his head. I could be persuaded, but you haven't told me what's in it for me yet.
You know you live. If you want to keep living, yeah.
I'm made to understand that you did have intentions to do something, but I'm to pay you or trade some kind of service or information for you to do otherwise.
And not necessarily. I haven't really decided if I was going to fuck with them or not. But now that I see some flunkies here telling me that I shouldn't...
Flunkies? Huh.
Is that the point where you kick him through the window? Drop kick him and slide in at the same time? Do it. I'll cut this plywood down, Xavier. We'll send this man to final death right now. The Bushido is calling.
Let's go. I'm ready.
I'll look at him a little more sternly this time. As a Nosferatu, you would be aware of the Web of Shadows yet? Oh, knives. Sorry, I was thinking about Spider-Man.
Isn't Spider-Man the Web of Fate?
I I don't know, man.
Spider-Man has his own weird mythology going on.
Are you about to do what I think you're about to do?
I'm just gonna ask him questions.
The Banu Hakim? Yeah, there's a couple in the city. What's it to you?
And you know, when somebody gets out of line, they're allowed to put them back in line or take them out of it entirely.
Yeah. I also know that the Banu Hakim got nothing to do with this little summit gonna happen here tomorrow. So
You're absolutely right. They didn't. All I ask is everything goes smoothly. If something does happen while we're narrowing down the list, I don't want you to be on that list. Please, there are better uses of my time.
do rest assured, Mr. Anderson. If I wanted to cause any trouble, you would never see me there.
You can just point out that we found him right now.
Sure, we saw you right through the window, bro. But that was a Masquerade breach.
Alternatively, something could be dealt with right now, as I'm on my way to do so after this visit.
And what might that be, Mr. Anderson?
A little trouble with some brouhaha, possibly.
Brouhaha? I got nothing against the brouhaha, tell you the truth. They get a bad rap. Mostly just kids looking out for number one.
I agree. They do get a bad rep. Now, Mr. Krug, I want us to be friends. So I would like to see you here again. Would that be agreeable?
Maybe. For what purpose?
Well, who doesn't want a Nosferatu as a friend? And currently, I've got ongoings that could prove useful to you and yours.
You have my attention.
I'm sure I do. But our information is your currency. So if you don't mind, I'll withhold for now.
See, I'm gonna need just a little bit more than that if I'm to believe it's in my best interest to stand down tomorrow. Daestra!
I'm sure you know that the one called Gabriel is no longer in the city.
Gabriel? Oh yeah, that
Yes.
guy used to work for Madame Gill. What a putz. Anyway, what about him?
Well, once the underworld has news of him not being here, I'm sure Chicago crime rates will go back to what they were before him, and we don't want. Things are nice and quiet now, yes?
Night Cool Impa.
Good night, Imp. Tony! It's okay, Tony. Homework might enrich your mind, but CAFCON enriches your soul. And congratulations on your impending nuptials, sir.
Oh, congratulations, Tony.
See,
Sneak out. I've got work in the morning.
Get the hell
See you,
out of
Austin.
here.
bye, Austin. I'm ready to reshape the cameras now.
For chaos, yeah.
Okay, this one is Josh.
For all the Black Snow Prince.
We're all Black Snow Prince.
Aren't we all deep down inside?
It's what we all strive to be.
So, you're sort of met with this oily sneer from the guy. And he says, "Now, Mr. Anderson, don't get me wrong. I'm interested in what you have to offer, but I feel like you're making a lot of threats and not backing up too much."
Oh, no. I'm simply saying that given the current state of the Camarilla, or rather lack thereof, I'm sure somebody would make some kind of power play. And you would be the first to know about it, I'm sure. And I'm pretty sure you want in on that. You don't want to be, relegated to the bottom of the rung.
Look, I tell you what. You want to be my friend? What about me and my charming visage has piqued your interest in my particular friendship?
Well, our previous contact is no longer in the Nosferatu. Yeah. Or is he? Fuck, is he here? Is Khalid still here?
As far as Lee would know.
Oh, that's right. He's still here. Allegedly.
He is still here.
Ah.
A man named Khalid is here.
Our current contact, Khalid, is quiet these days. And I need another contact.
Alright, I'm gonna cut to the chase. There's a Nosferatu in town named Bordrov, you know him?
No, but I'm sure you'll tell me all about him.
He's a prick. Fuck him. See, he tried to get me to work with him too. Tried to get me to throw around a little bit of fire and brimstone in the name of the Lord and kill most of the kindred in the city. I told him where to shove it. And I've made a little bit of hobby of fucking with Bordrov anytime I get a chance. So, here's what I'm thinking. You want to be my friend? Let's you and me go fuck with this Bordrov. And, well, that's all I really need in a friend these days. I can get by the rest myself. Then, maybe, you got your little power play going on, your little struggles, your little politics. We can talk about some politics.
So, simply mess with this Bordrov. Doable? Is that it?
Well, I guess if you want to get all Camarilla pretentious about it, we can call it a boon. Maybe later on we go fuck with his haven or something, I don't know. But, if you're on board, then maybe I'm on board. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit better about not fucking with proceedings tomorrow if I got something else to look forward to. You catch my drift?
Oh. I'd say this was a fortuitous exchange. Thank you, mister. I'll be seeing you.
Yeah, you take it easy. I gotta get back to dinner.
Right.
Do we ever go back there?
And then Adam busts through the wall.
Nobody comes like through the building.
And then just the two of us busted. I thought we were fighting.
Yeah.
Lee turns back. There's just a blood puddle. We won!
All right.
I did it, guys.
Oh, Planet Joe Pesky.
He's a Giovanni, duh.
I want that movie. I want a Giovanni movie with the cast of Goodfellas.
So they're trying to raid somebody's haven, but it's just another Home Alone.
Just Home Alone with the Goodfellas, with the interview with the vampire. Marisa Tomei's there too, so it's kind of like a My
Fucking
Cousin Vinny.
shit.
Well, what?
Marisa Tomei. Who's that director who's got a boner for?
I don't know.
Anyways. Yeah.
But if our proceedings are done here, I suggest we go see Genghis.
Yes, the worst of them.
Do you guys tell me in the back that you're leaving, or am I just going to stand up here all night?
Yes.
The car rolls away, guys.
Like, guys, I can fly, but
Joe Pesky would make a great vampire in a movie. I don't know why. He'd be funny. Just him as a vampire is a funny thought.
I mean, better than John C. Reilly. So yeah, I'll round up what's left of my coterie, and we'll head off to the area.
Okay.
Next.
Yeah. Once I see the conversations done, I'm probably going to quietly make my way out.
Anything you want to talk about on the way?
So, this Genghis,
We've
what's
met.
his, what's his angle? What does he want?
What most anarchs want, I believe.
Freedom.
And he's not too fond of the Camarilla or myself. I beat him up in a fist fight. He doesn't like to admit it, but I won.
Huh. Well, then hopefully we can come to some kind of compromise, if he has any intentions at all.
All right. So as you GPS the address given to you by the prince, you're kind of wondering if some wires didn't get crossed, like, or a Malkavian's playing a prank or something, because the limo starts pulling into this really high-end neighborhood called the Gold Coast. And it's a lot of really, really gorgeous villas, and what you might refer to around here as drug dealer houses.
All right.
But yeah, these really beautiful 3-story villas, surrounded by these really nice fences. And as you sort of get closer to the address, what might be an otherwise quiet night has the sound of the Sex Pistols blaring at just an irresponsible volume. And you're quite sure you've got the right place.
Huh. Well, who wants to knock?
I'll knock.
So you find yourself again, just a beautiful, well-appointed villa, 3 stories high, on the other side of a gate. Several cars parked on the other side. Gravel driveway leading up to the door. The gate apparently does seem to be electronically locked. There's an intercom for reaching security, and you can see there's a couple of security cameras that sort of zzz, zzz, every once in a while posted on different corners. You can also hear what sounds like a chorus of very aggressive barking.
Dogs. I would hope to be dogs. The dogfish. Parrots making dog noises.
I'm going to go ahead and buzz it.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here for the party.
One moment. Line goes quiet for a minute. Buzzes again. Sorry, the resident isn't answering his intercom. Maybe try again tomorrow, unless you got like a personal line.
Hey, buzz, trick or treat. And then he goes to the door.
Look, man, he's not going to be happy when he finds out the guy who brought the coke for his party isn't here. Or got turned away at the door.
I'm just doing my job, sir. If he tells us to buzz you in, we'll buzz you in.
I know, man, but I kind of want you to keep your job. That's why you got to let me in.
Look, unless I specifically hear from the resident to buzz you into the door, I am not allowed to open the gate.
And I know the resident, and he's not going to like it when he finds out you didn't let us in. Look, man, I'm not trying to worm one over on you, but I'm sure you've seen his temper.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Temper? What do you mean? He's always been a nice guy to me. Anyway, besides the point, I can't let you in until I hear it from him.
Roxanne, just fly us over.
Okay, I do, again, security cameras. So literally Adam's about to grab you guys and go, woo!
I mean, if we go over the security cameras...
We just back
in front
up
of him.
a little.
We
We
just
just
leave and then just fast
Back
travel.
yeah.
I'm like, all right, man, it's your neck on the line, I say as I back up.
There's no response.
Yeah.
Some man just from the 18th century said he had your drugs. I kind of do want to play a Toreador who was a classical composer.
In the Anarch book, it sort of outlines a setting for the Reign of Terror, and I'm like, that sounds pretty cool. To either play Anarchs or Camarilla.
So, yeah.
I can fly over.
Well, you guys have glide, don't you?
No.
I have glide. Lee doesn't.
Gabriel has glide.
I didn't carry because I have glide, fly 4 or 3 rather. So I don't know how much weight I can carry.
I'm pretty sure you can carry me.
You can carry like one person at flight 3.
You also have the Arms of Atlas merit, which I believe extends.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
I don't know if I took that one.
You do have it, Adam.
Xavier put it on your
have
character sheet.
Okay. It should be there somewhere, but I didn't write it down. Or somewhere, yeah.
Drax Umbre is now following. Hello, Drax Umbre, and thank you.
So yeah, back up. Adam, fly us over. Roxanne.
Yeah, I'll fly over on my own. But he can carry the...
I'm going to ask one more time. Do we give a shit about the security cameras? Or
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, no,
back up.
we're going somewhere where they can't see. We're going to find somewhere where they're not pointing at.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
And then just drop us on the roof or something.
Hey, glad you could make it, Drax. We're happy to have you. So the roof?
Yeah.
Yeah, the roof, who's going to put a camera on a roof?
Now, Adam, so I know your gargoyle looks like one of the Pillarmen. Do you actually have wings? Do you have any sort of propulsion? Or do you just kind of wee?
It's like
Flap your arms? Like, what happens?
Look, do your chicken arms. Yeah.
Chicken wing it.
Chicken wing it. Flap faster. I'm pretty sure I do have just wings coming out of my shoulders. Yeah.
Okay. Feathered wings, bat wings.
Like stone wings though.
Yeah, they're like rock wings. But they can style them any way you want.
Just 2 big fucking boulders on Adam's back. Let's go.
They're just jetpacks.
These are my lightweights.
I like to imagine they just kind of go in and out of you.
Yeah, like that, yeah. It's like spread them out. I gotta flex and they come out.
Okay, so you pull off your half-shirt hoodie, strike a pose, and this great span of wings erupts from your back.
Yes.
As you grasp Lee Anderson in a very manly way and lift him into the night.
Yeah.
Josh, you're just backing up and fluttering over, crouching tiger style.
Well, I like to imagine that I do the whole sword pose where I kind of crouch down with my hand on the handle of the katana, and I just kind of jump really high, and then I kind of just spread out my kimono and glide over.
You majestic bastard. Okay.
Like the Chinese movies where they just glide.
Yeah, that's how I imagine. It's like the whole kind of.
It's a wuxia film.
Wushu. There you go. Yes.
And you said you wanted to land on the roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You fly over. This is one of those odd things that you can definitely tell the scenario wasn't written for. Like, there's no way they're just going to land on the fucking roof. We're going to put all this shit in the yard and this fence and all these rolls. Nope, fucking fly.
Yep.
Onyx Path and Goodman Games both know what's up. Yeah.
So Roxanne and Cyberpunk 2027. 27.
I'll never forget that. Like, I never thought they would do that when we did that playtest that we can't talk about.
Yeah. You beat the game.
You broke them.
In no feasible scenario would anybody be stupid enough to try that.
But you underestimate.
basically, due to our antics in a playtest, somebody had to change how a scenario was written to ensure an antic that we pulled off couldn't be pulled off again.
Yeah.
Which is cool, right? Like, we made a significant impact.
Yeah, we broke the game for them. That's right.
The two of you touch down on the roof. Roxanne cradles Lee Anderson just a split second too long before letting him out of his muscly embrace.
Pillarman
Thank
theme
you,
stops.
Roxanne, but you don't have to hold on so tight.
Do you want me to drop you in the yard?
No, but understand that you're a big rock thing.
You're a squishy man. Or a vampire, huh?
Yeah.
But you are also my
I
friend.
identify as a vampire, thank you. Alright, is there any way to get into the building from, or do we have to...
Shimmy our way in there.
entrance?
Does it have a chimney?
Does he have a chimney? We're gonna Santa Claus his ass.
Do it, Santa.
You just fucking smash the chimney all the way down as you try to squeeze in. Just...
Yeah.
Let's say there's probably a couple of really nice skylights, but as you approach the skylights, you can see the telltale blinking light that lets you know there's a pretty solid security system.
Well, I guess I'll go over to the skylight and I'll look down. What do I see?
All right, so as you look down,
If only Orpheus was very good. He just an EMP and just blow up
I'll
electricity.
activate Protean 1.
So, as you sort of look down into, and Protean 1, good call, because it's actually dark inside. But you can see, sort of in your infravision, a very plush, well-appointed, and beautifully furnished apartment. Like, it doesn't look like an anarch place at all. And you can see the power light on the speakers, and he's got these major tower speakers, boo, 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 kicking Sex Pistols on repeat. But other than that, doesn't quite look like maybe anybody's inside. Not that you'd be able to hear over the speakers, but yeah, just with a cursory look. It's a nice place.
I'm going to activate Aspects 2 and try to look for some auras.
Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. So Aspects 2, you can see the level below the penthouse. Lilium 20, thank you so much. Welcome. The level below the penthouse, there seems to be some humans milling about. Maybe like in a bedroom, and they're tossing and turning and banging up at the penthouse with a broom, but you don't see a vampire present.
All I see are humans.
It's one in the basement.
Really? That's irritating.
Lee, could I please have... Could I please have a wits investigation roll at a difficulty 8?
Thank you, Daestra.
Daestra will never forget you guys.
8.
I don't think you guys believe us, but we genuinely care about you guys.
But we can't forget your name's right there, Daestra. So like you're gonna unsubscribe, we won't see you.
3 successes.
3 successes. As nice and clean and well kept as the rest of this place is, you do see like there's a pamphlet on the end table that seems to be curiously out of place, like it was haphazardly tossed there. Drax, we're happy you stumbled upon us too. Full credit for that is these guys, and I'll say it 100% of the time. I'm just here. Our life would suck without you guys too.
I mean, it sucks with you guys, but it sucks a little less.
It takes a little bit less, yeah.
I wish that was a joke. Anyway.
The crushing of ennui will someday enfold us.
So, yeah, you do see that pamphlet that looks curiously out of place. Anorade Rail, how's it going? Lily! Okay, hi, Lily. And congratulations on your impending nuptials.
Is there like a balcony we could jump to that we could walk into the penthouse?
Yeah, absolutely, there's a balcony. But, again, security system is armed, so that's... has not become a non-issue.
You're right, Roxanne. Get on the other side.
I'll just pretend to be a gargoyle on the balcony.
That's exactly what he wanted. Thank you, Adam.
Well, the camera's panning over.
Just gargoyle that was never there before. Gargoyle's gone. Good thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, the alarm is there in case you try to break the window to get in. If you just break through the roof, will the alarm go off?
I mean, you saw lights at the skylight, so yeah.
No. Through the actual roof.
Like through the physical roof, like through the ceiling and tile. Because most alarm systems are assuming you're going to not be an idiot and try to break into a window or a door.
You know what? Go for it.
So it's like, aha. The door might be fucking red, but not the wall.
Can I just use one round of my 3 dots of celerity to just kind of slash at this thing and see how deep I can get in?
Wait,
so I got celerity 3, so I can get 3 attacks in.
How good is your sword?
How good is my sword? It's the finest Japanese make.
So you've got like a Hattori Hanzo sword.
Yes. I'm also swinging it incredibly fast. So it's not necessarily the blunt force of an impact I'm doing, it's also how incredibly fast I'm doing it.
And how accurate he is with his vampire senses.
You know what? If you're willing to spend your 3 blood points for celerity, which, for any V5 viewers watching, celerity works a little bit differently in V20. Instead of having its own powers enumerated, it either adds to dexterity or you get X number of extra actions per blood point spent up to celerity maximum. Personally, I like the V5 style of celerity. I think it's a little more interesting, but this definitely is very effective. So
well, yeah, I think personally you just like V5.
I really do like V5. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway.
Yeah, Mazzy's bringing up that point. I've seen that happen where people drive through the actual wall of a building. Alarm doesn't go off because it's not expected you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't set an alarm on through the entire wall. I mean, I'm sure you can, but the Best Buy's not going to do that. Like a military facility might do something like that. 1, 2, 3. That's 6 on my first attack.
Oh, you don't have to actually roll for this. You can
okay.
if you want. If you want to know the exact scope of the destruction you're about to carve into this fucking penthouse.
Well, I'm trying to do it elegantly, almost like a Jedi with the whole circle. Except I'm just doing a bunch of slashes.
So you basically carve a triangle into the thing. And the wall sort of slowly slides and falls inward. There's a hideous shattering crash of something that sounds terribly expensive. And as you do that, with no particular layers of walls to muffle it, just BAM! Sid Vicious right in the face.
The bass is so loud.
like Black Snow Prince's hair is literally puffing up in the wind a little bit.
I was going to say, technically, Sid Vicious isn't on the recordings because I think he was drunk or high most of the time they recorded. I think it was the guitarist that actually went in and dubbed over all of his bass parts.
Congratulations, Josh. You know more about the Sex Pistols than me. Does it make you feel like a big man? Does it make you feel like a big man, Josh?
I know you're goth, Chaz. I know you have something against punks.
You know,
they're your mortal enemies.
Nah, that's a stereotype. There are some.
I know.
There are some goths that really like punk. I'm not one of them. The Vibrators are all right. It's not something I would put on for myself. But anyway, you've gored a massive hole in this fucking house. It's gonna be very difficult to explain, but fucking unsolved mysteries. Go for it.
To quote Tom, that's not my monkey, not my circus. I suppose we can look inside now. I say as I just kind of.
Does the Black Snow Prince gain a willpower for doing goofy animal shit? I don't know. Is your nature protagonist, Josh?
Can I make it shonen protagonist?
I will absolutely allow that because it's funny.
I'm gonna change it to shonen protagonist then.
Then you get a fucking point of willpower, don't you, you glorious bastard?
So when I do something awful, I'll just point out that technically Light Yagami is also a shonen protagonist.
God damn it.
He was in Shonen Jump. That's where Death Note was published.
Yeah, technically
He was-
that's correct.
That and it's just funny to know that it's the same people that did Bakuman, the manga about making manga.
Oh,
wasn't that
I mean,
Barakuman? Yeah, I thought
I think it's-
Bakugan too. I was like,
Oh no, I said Bakuman.
Yeah.
I think Barakuman might be something else. It's actually a pretty good series. I liked it. Bakuman. It gets intense shonen action without there being any actual action.
I don't know,
So he's gonna
Daestra.
jump in.
I don't know shit about guns, and he's the one that started the Pervert podcast, so I think I lose again. Yeah, what do you guys do?
Walk on in.
Okay. You stroll in. It's still dark, but this isn't particularly an issue for you, Lee, as you're able to protean around.
I'll go look at that pamphlet.
The pamphlet is... You pick it up, and it's this really, really shitty sort of handout. Like something you would go to Kinko's and have like 200 of them made for $20. And it's this printer paper with a stolen piece of artwork advertising a live show tonight at some place called the Mohawk.
Huh.
Yep. That's what I figured. He's using this place as his haven.
Perhaps. Well, I guess we're going to the Mohawk.
Is there anything else down there, Mr. Lee?
Nothing I want to touch.
I mean, it's all rich people stuff.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't actually live here.
I don't want to touch something and set off an alarm.
Was the crash louder or less loud than the blaring speakers?
They probably mitigated each other to a point.
I wasn't joking about that man losing his job. He's going to lose his job now. When that person, the real owner gets home, or when it rains tomorrow or something, and the fucking water goes straight through the hole I made. Leaks down to the next level where people are actually living.
You know what? That's a good point. Josh, what's your humanity? Daestra knows what I'm talking about. I believe wanton destruction is a little bit lower for that. I'm gonna ask you for a roll for that. So you're not you don't have like a weird path, right? You're on humanity.
No, I was on humanity because for a while I didn't believe I was a vampire.
Okay.
Someday I'll be on the path of Bushido.
Now I would like to point out that also that was a lot of dice hitting the table. You don't actually roll your humanity score. You roll your conscience. So roll conscience at a difficulty 8, and I would like to point out that we have agreed not to use our 10s negate 1s house rule here, because that got Murphy Fierro out of a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah.
Well, I got a 10 and a 3.
10 and a 3. Okay. You feel a little bad about destroying something that was probably priceless, but...
I warned him.
Fair enough.
I told him, if you don't let me in, you will lose your job. The Black Snow Prince does not make idle threats.
Daestra, you would think he has the... What's the one that you have, Adam, for some stupid fucking reason?
Well, for me right now, I have... for which one then?
Your path.
This one is Soldier or Judge.
Nah, that's not fair.
Honorable...
Yeah, your path of
the path of
accord.
honorable accord.
Yeah.
Yes. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Someday you'll have to teach me the path of honorable accord.
That's weird that Roxanne is the spiritual guide.
I'll be your guide to this strange path.
All right. Well, we're done here. Let's go to the Mohawk.
Let's fly out of here.
Yep.
Okay, so Roxanne just flies you guys back to Annabelle's limo. There's a transition where the Coterie logo zooms into the camera and zooms back out. And you find yourselves at a grimy club adorned with the peeling posters of bands long gone and marred with graffiti inside and out. You can hear sort of this muted thump of a live band. They're not particularly good, probably a bunch of locals, maybe even kids from the suburbs, as it just sort of tries its best to pound through the windows that look like they haven't been washed in a good 2 years.
I guess we're gonna walk on it.
You walk
What's
on
the
in.
cover charge? $3? It's a punk show.
Yeah, for a local show like that, they're probably charging like $3 to pay the venue. This guy in sort of like a denim battle jacket and a crotch flap sort of like looks you up and down as you walk in. You guys lost?
We're looking for...
No, I'm here for the show.
Oh, is that what we're here for?
Right? Rock hard.
Right on. I not too familiar with the style, man, but hey, gypsy punk's a thing, man. Everybody's welcome, just people might give you a hard time.
It's Rococo Visual K, I say, pointing to my outfit.
Yeah, oh shit, that's the one from Cincinnati, right? What's that band called, right? Oh, damn. Tip of my tongue. Shit, I hate looking like a poser in front of new guys. Anyway, locals might give you a hard time, but yeah, $3, everybody's welcome.
$3.
I've seen weirder people at punk shows. The weirdest person's always a guy in like khakis and a polo shirt and glasses, and he's usually the person that's gonna punch the hardest.
You fool! His outfit's holding his power back.
When I used to get dragged to the local shows by my ex, you didn't see too many of those guys, honestly. There was always there was always like the main group of like the shitheads that run the show, and then every once in a while somebody would look like they walked in off the street. But
no, Drax Umbra knows what I'm talking about. For me, I think you get more shit at a punk show for being dressed incorrectly. You're more likely to get shit if you wear like a Blink-182 or a Green Day shirt.
That's probably true.
They're going to be like, oh, that guy's weird, but, you know, being weird's supposed to be punk rock. 13-year-old girl in a Blink-182 shirt, let's pick on her instead. She's a poser.
Didn't Blink-182 have an album recently?
I don't know if it came out already, but I think they're about to have them come out.
Fucking weird. Anyways, yeah. So how do we find this Genghis?
You'll know him when you see him, I say.
Oh boy.
And as you say that, you push open the door into a room full of people with mohawks, with sort of like leather jackets, with ripped up torn jeans.
I guess we saw
everybody at the bar just sort of like turns to you at once as you stroll in.
Record scratch noise.
No, the crappy local band has officially drowned them out. There's like a circle pit going, which is just kind of a bunch of little like high school kids doing this.
Just leaning to the lead. Like, personally, I prefer J-Punk, but this isn't the worst I've heard.
Is that music? I thought they were doing rustic ambient.
Oh man, real noise music is just fucking weird, especially noise concerts, because it's like just ambient noise and people screaming and breaking glass and hitting each other.
But I guess my understanding of music is limited. Anyways, Genghis.
Look for the one with the bald head. Exceptionally large.
I'll look around for an exceptionally large, bald-headed, and hopefully he's not Dwayne Johnson.
Okay. So are you guys going to split up? Are you going to case the place, or do you just sort of like move in a nucleus like a bunch of creepers through the club?
I'm going to move with the Black Snow Prince because he actually knows what he's doing.
Now,
because
what is
this environment scares you.
Now, we know what the Black Snow Prince dress is like. We know that Roxanne is wearing this weird-ass belly shirt with his abdomen showing. What is Lee dressed as?
At this current point in time...
In honor of Tom, I just want to say, bat nipples. Continue.
No, he's not in Gotham anymore. I probably have a pretty nice suit right. Not like tuxedo, but definitely like I look like I have an office job.
Once again, you're the guy at the punk show with the polo shirt. People are going to be like, that guy's going to fucking go insane once the music gets going.
All right, so you're sticking with the Black Snow Prince. What's Roxanne doing at the moment?
JoJo posing.
Getting in the circle pit.
Yeah,
Circle pit.
When they're on the pit and just
and
so
then not
people
get
just like
hurt because everybody's breaking their fingers on your face.
they try to push me. They push themselves back.
Just turn into cement right there.
That's true. I just fell into the ground so they can't move. They can't move.
Daestra, how dare you reference that band in my presence?
I remember my most vivid memory of when I used to get dragged around to the punk events is we have this casino in town that every once in a while they used to at least have these free concerts, and it used to be some pretty big names. Well,
They still do.
do they? Okay. Well, one year Joan Jett was playing, and I took my ex to the show because she wanted to go, and all the other punk dipshits decided to show up. But this is not like some underground shithole, all right? This is a major casino in town that like a bunch of old people show up at and come to listen to nostalgia. Joan fucking Jett. So the punk shitheads decide that they're going to start a mosh pit in the middle of this super mainstream Joan Jett. And literally, I just remember the bouncers like swelling up on the side of the crowd. These guys get 5 seconds in their mosh pit, and they literally yank these kids through the air. Like, the guy fucking leapt off the ground. Leapt off the fucking ground through the air as these huge fucking bouncers were yanking them out one by one.
That's funny.
Oh god, they were a bunch of fucking
hearing
douchebags.
about that. Like I said, it's so funny that I heard about that moment, and it was just one of those few concerts I hadn't been to that you happened to be there, and you were there present at an event I had heard of.
All right, so as the coterie is sort of going through the club, and Xavier's getting some weird looks and some strange nods from the usuals, there's actually a second floor to this place. And as you turn the stairs to scope out the second floor, you actually see Genghis sitting on the stairs with a young woman, cigarette in his hand, smoking laws be damned. In the crush of the place, he hasn't seemed to have noticed you yet. What would you like to do?
I'll walk up to him.
Crowd kill him! Crowd kill him! Crowd kill him, Xavier!
I'm not Hitman. I don't have a briefcase.
Well, not the kind of crowd killing I was thinking of.
So as you walk up, they sort of move to the side, assuming you're trying to climb the stairs. He gives you like a weird look as he looks you up and down, and it takes him a second to realize that you're staring at him, not climbing.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Genghis.
Oh, shit, it's this guy. Head to the bar and get me something, baby. It doesn't really matter. As he sort of flicks the cigarette in your direction, give me a self-control roll at a difficulty 4.
Oh, fool, that's my best one. 2 successes. Is that good enough to kind of grab it between my 2 fingers, Kenshiro style?
That's
or do you want me to roll?
That's going to be a dex roll.
All right. Dex athletics.
Or cut it with your sword in half.
Does the
I would, but that'd be bad. I don't want to do that in this venue.
Does the girl he's talking to look of age?
Yes. Drax.
Okay, is she
Better
of age?
idea.
It's 2019. Everybody looks of age.
Better idea. Invite your ST into our chat. And then we can all talk about Banu Hakim. Anyway, yeah, she looks like she's probably at least 19, 20.
Okay. How old is she really?
Probably about 24.
Okay.
I got 6. Yeah. If this counts as lightning reflexes, I got 6 successes to kind of catch it between my fingers.
Sure.
You
And
still
I flick it back at him.
You flick it back.
Yeah, kind of. He flicks it at me, right? I kind of catch it with my fingers, turn it around, and flick it back at him.
You turn the bullet.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm
Yeah.
doing the Kenshiro thing with the cigarette.
Yeah.
Do you want me to roll Dex Athletics again?
Nah, you're good. Actually, you know what? Go ahead. Let's see if it actually hits him.
Critical in the eye.
And I'll give him a self-control roll. Son of a bitch, I forgot to start up my Onyx Dice app again, and it takes a little bit. I need V20 stats for Genghis. So I am breaking out Volume 2.
I'm gonna.
I also have the...
1.
I didn't hear you, X.
That's,
What's up?
I'm gonna get self-control 1 or 2.
Well, I got a 7 to flick it back at him.
A 7 to flick it back at him. Now let's see what he does. Coteries, Golfora, Oliver Greets, the Sabat.
I really wanted to cut it in half with the katana, but then I was like, you know what? I probably shouldn't pull out a weapon in a live music venue.
But on the stairs, no, it's fine. It's a punk rock concert. It's a prop, bro.
I'm sorry, Daestra, I don't have dots in performance posing. I had to put it all into my crafts and my melee and my etiquette.
Self-control 3 for Genghis.
Ah.
He's got less than I do. Botch.
Please don't.
So he just sort of, you see his eyes widen ever so slightly, and he just kind of ducks as the cigarette goes flicking past him.
That was rude.
He stands up, sort of does one of these and cracks his knuckles. Tonight's my night off, doggies, so I'm guessing you're not all here for a social call. You want to remind me real quick why I shouldn't pound a couple of the prince's lackeys into the floor?
Because last time we fought, I was the one that pounded you. You walked away.
Yeah.
We're not lackeys.
Yeah. And,
Mr. Genghis.
And I couldn't help but notice that Gabriel didn't manage to show after... When was the last time I saw him? Yeah, I got flipped over a railing in the Succubus Club. People don't seem too keen to rematch me there, friend. So do tell me, if you're not lackeys of the prince, I'm all ears. And he'll
We're currently working for ourselves, as you are. And in the best interest of working for yourself, we're just here to tell you that tomorrow night's kind of important. Please don't start anything.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about the Camarilla's plans for tomorrow night. Word among the Anarchs is you're bringing some pretty nasty elements into the town.
Potentially.
Well, I gotta give you credit, buddy. I didn't think you were gonna admit it.
I mean, potentially it could be anything.
Yeah.
Hence, potentially.
They could be very dangerous people. But there's a lot of
Some would
people-
consider you a very dangerous person, Genghis.
Hardly.
Iggy7, how you doing, buddy? And welcome. Oh, well, hello.
So how's he responding?
He'll just sort of cock an eyebrow, look around, wait for the point.
You were put on a list.
Masked Plague! It is a pleasure to have a fellow ST here. Feel free to criticize me to your heart's content. I feed on it. Sorry, X, continue.
What are they saying?
You were put on. He was put on a list.
Yeah, you were put on a list of individuals that might be interested. And, well, it wasn't a very good list.
You know, you'd be surprised how many times that's happened. I kind of like to think of it as a badge of honor. So, what's it to you?
Well, let's just say we're in charge of security.
Aw, thanks, Mass Plague. We appreciate it. And is that supposed to impress me?
I suppose it... Look, I understand you do this whole tough guy thing, and cool, awesome. Yeah, I get it. You know, we Bruja have to have a certain face, but please
let your sensitive side out.
I
interject.
I'm trying to do what's best, and to do that, everything needs to go smoothly. Now, as a fellow Bruja, can you trust me?
What do you know about what's best? You're here. You're obviously working on behalf of the prince. That's not what's best. That's not what's best for this city. That's not what's best for you. That's not what's best for me. So you tell me, buddy, can I trust you? Can I look you in the eye and trust that you're here to do what's best if you're still taking orders from a bunch of old gargoyles and they'll sort of like shove you in the chest a little bit?
Whoa, the only gargoyle we got is right over there.
Yeah, I'll just say that's fairly rude. Our coterie members are gargoyles.
I can hear that. I just start walking up the stairs from the top of the stairs.
You said we're possibly letting in dangerous element. What's wrong with the Camarilla getting some dangerous element?
Because it makes them stronger. They're already oppressing us. I thought you were a Bruja. What do you fight for?
Bruja. But
let's start a support group.
Is I'm a little smarter than you. I know that you can't just take things down by ripping off the wall. Maybe you gotta blow it up from the inside. Now, will you let whatever happens tomorrow happen? Because, Genghis, I don't want to have to come back. And if I come back, it's going to be the last time.
Buddy, take a good look around. You're on my turf. Now, I appreciate you and the pickled plum prince back there walking in here like you're hot shit. But if we start a fight here, there's about 20 people just itching for an excuse.
I'll put a hand on the shoulder. I guarantee you, there will be no fight. There will only be death and destruction. I like this place. I like this city. But there's some more unstable people. I'm sure you know of at least one who, you know, don't really play fair, and when they fight dirty. And then I'll put my other hand on his shoulder, and I'll just like gently. So please, Genghis, I'm asking you to trust me.
All right, listen. You're talking about destroying the Camarilla from the inside.
Or at least get them out of here.
Wait a minute. I haven't seen you at any of the rants. I don't even know your name. How do I know you're on my side? You come in here strutting with the harpy, for Christ's sakes. And I'm supposed to believe you're looking to cause some shit?
Well, he's the only one who knew your face. And also, his,
I'll have you know, since I've been harpy, things have only gotten worse.
He's also fairly connected.
So
Again, I'm not that dumb.
So what's it gonna be, Harpy? Huh? Don't you have 5 or 6, 7 superiors pulling your chain to report this guy to?
You don't know who I report to. I have seen things and been places that you sitting in one city cannot comprehend. I'm like, I understand the foolish buffoon that you think you see before you, but behind this facade lies the soul of a philosopher and a scholar, one of the mind and the blade.
All right. Scholar of the mind.
All bullshit, by the way.
Nah.
At least Black Snow Prince is like, I don't know if Lee's telling the truth or not. I better cover myself right here.
So I'm going to give you a chance to convince me. I'm a fair guy. What's the plan? So we bring in a dangerous element, and I want you to explain to me how that's not just another weapon in the prince's hand. Another bat to brain the rest of us with.
If we can get to them first, and, you know, explain something, then that's more strength we have against the prince.
You still haven't explained to me why I should trust you.
Because if I explain something to you, then you might be tempted to do something. And believe me, when you do something, I want it to be at an appropriate time.
Look,
I trust you. I know what you can do.
I like you. You're the kind of guy that doesn't feed people a lot of bullshit, all right? And you don't seem to mind terribly getting your hands dirty, so that's kind of the only reason I'm thinking, maybe this guy's telling me the truth. But you come in here, you dressed in that suit, how much did that cost you?
Oh, this is free. It's my uniform.
I sewed this myself.
I also have robes, but those are for other times.
It's a calling mass plague, I hear you. Hey, thanks for joining. We got a YouTube channel linked somewhere if you want to watch. If not, hey, cool, you do you. But we appreciate having you here. Later, Drax. I want to believe you. I want to believe that you're the kind of person to tear this shithole down from the inside. One good reason, that's all I'm asking for. And we'll part ways. I'll sit back down with my lady, and you can do whatever you need to do. But you fuck me on this. You fuck me, and I'll remember.
That's fair. You have a long time to remember that.
A lifetime.
So, can I have your support? Or at least your agreement to not interfere?
You're not listening. I'll give you my support. I'll give you my agreement.
But you want something.
One good reason.
Aren't we the reason that the Prince of Boston is dead?
That would be that would be the Tremere Regent of Boston.
Is that our fault?
And that, for more information about that, check out our, one-page Chronicle Jumpstarts that we used roughly the same characters in. Which is a lie. It was mostly just Black Snow Prince and Orpheus.
Yeah, I think...
I'll be like, because, Genghis, don't think this is the first time we've taken out the establishment from the inside. We're the reason that horrible Tremere region in Boston isn't around anymore.
The Tremere, what are you talking about? She got killed by werewolves in Canada.
You want to know who led her there?
Do you have some way to prove that?
Well,
I kind of unbuttoned my shirt.
Bad at our jobs.
Werewolf scars that I got from that encounter. Do you want me to roll some kind of persuasion or something?
Yeah. Don't forget there was a massive lupine war here a couple of years ago, and even more recently than that in our chronicle. So it's going to take a little bit of convincing.
Wouldn't the scars be different from different times?
What do you want me to roll? Manipulation, empathy, expression, subterfuge?
Go ahead and go with charisma, empathy, because you are telling the truth. And to answer your question, Xavier, not necessarily because of the way vampire healing works. It's dead flesh. It's dead flesh that you spend blood to knit. So the healing time is just about instant, and it doesn't really heal on its own. So it's not like the scars would have technically aged.
2 successes.
Well, I don't exactly remember hearing about Rainbow Bright prancing around town during the Lopine War, so... Alright. Benefit of the doubt. But if you fuck me on this, if you fuck us, if you fuck everybody trying to live their lives and be free and get out from under the boot of a tyrant, you won't have to find me.
I'll kind of look around the club and be like, I can assure you there's nobody here I want to fuck.
Well, it was good talking to you, Genghis. I hope I don't need you anytime soon.
I hope that I can have as good of an estimation of you as you seem to elicit.
Fantastic. Well,
is he going to become infatuated with another one of your characters, Xavier?
Oh.
You used to have a pretty big man crush on Gabriel.
Then he's like, look at Gabriel with the real job.
You changed, man.
I was always like this. You just didn't know. So really, whose fault is that? All right, so where are we off to now?
Currently, you have tied up the last of the prince's loose ends. We'll say it's probably about 1 in the morning. You have the rest of the night to yourselves if you want to wreak havoc somewhere. Otherwise, you can return
I need
to
to drain some blood.
Then it's up to you.
So, while we're here at this club, are there any punks here that have any J-Punk patches on their battle jackets?
Okay.
No, but you have somebody that has a little Agritsuku key.
That's good enough.
Why don't you give me a percentile rolls, Josh?
That's a 58.
58. One guy has like a Gojira patch on his battle jacket. That's probably as close as you're going to get.
That's French.
It is. It is.
And what was Adam doing?
Adam,
what were you, Adam?
Adam was James Spunk, remember?
Oh, yeah. You were the biker.
Yeah.
So, are you really gonna pick up people here?
I guess I probably shouldn't feed on Gangs' territory.
I'm trying
to try
to.
All of Adam's energy is being expended trying to stay awake.
Yeah.
He has a flaw that makes him go to bed early.
Called old man disease. No.
Adam, was that English?
Maybe.
Harem hurt.
Harem.
Josh, how much longer can you keep going?
Well, he's a shonen protagonist, not a harem protagonist. Different genres.
But can
I'm
you,
kind of reaching the end of my time here.
Okay. In which case, this is probably a good place to start, so we'll worry about hunting later. In the meantime, this went pretty well. I don't know if I let you guys off the hook a little too easily sometimes, but Big Meaty Anderson is a pretty big stick to wave around. So
I didn't have to kill anybody.
How do you
It
guys?
was awful.
How do you guys feel about it? Because the V20 experience system is really meant to be more of a communicative thing. So how do you feel that this session went?
I think it went solid. Like, nobody fucked up, right? And nobody botched, and we were forced into conflict. And, okay, that one thing that we just flew in, that wasn't expected, but...
you know what? That is a good point. Somebody from Onyx Path is going to watch this and go, holy shit, these guys are idiots.
But what the smartest is,
You think that's what people mean when they say we're not playing Vampire right? Like, it's got nothing to do with the fact that we tell jokes. These idiots just carve a hole in a wall? Who does that?
with the samurai sword.
By the way, Josh, props on taking the tropes of carrying a katana in Vampire the Masquerade and making it completely different.
No. How should I be doing this?
Well, with the trench coat, duh. Anyway, you know what? I too feel pretty good, so I'm going to award 3 XP to everybody. Those of you in the chat, you know what happens now. Start voting. Who gets the bonus XP and why?
And there's no lupus voting block. We're playing Vampire.
Not this time.
In the meantime, if you like what you saw, like it, subscribe, follow, whatever. Social media down below so you know what we're streaming, when we're streaming it. Next week, we're back with Werewolf the Dark Ages. There's a Patreon down there. Thanks again to our 2 new patrons. Nicolas Gravina? I'm super paranoid now. He said I mispronounced it. Teach me what to say. Nicolas Gravina and you're just as important, Zach. That's why I'm getting your name. I have to open the email because all the new followers. Zack Norton, right? Was that the name? Oh God, dear Zach, I'm so sorry. I am a terrible person. And Zack Norwig. Okay. We love you, Zach, and welcome.
Oh.
Anyway, start voting. So, aren't there new viewers? Yes, Vasil, there are new viewers. And thank you, you wonderful people. For everybody who followed, everybody who joined us. Lily, it's always great to see you. I got to start counting votes. So,
I'm also gonna give it to Roxanne for giving us an easy way.
An easy lift over here. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1 for Roxanne, 1 for Lee for huge cock power moves instead of Bruja dick energy. Let's see.
I'll also vote for him.
I think Honorade is voting for Lee as well. Daestra votes for Lee. Vasil votes for Adam because of flying over obstacles. But props to Adam for being awake. You wanted to vote for Adam, Josh?
Yeah, I'll vote for Adam.
Why?
For also helping us. I wouldn't have been able to literally fly over an obstacle if it wasn't for him.
All right, we're currently deadlocked. Adam, who gets your vote?
For Josh, for being the weeb that he always wanted to be.
Being the weeb.
It's as good of a reason as any.
Yeah.
Oh, Vasil's trying to say there's people who might not know what they're voting for.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Vasil. So, we have a tradition. It is a house rule that I totally stole from my friend Ted. At the end of the session, we vote for who gets 1 bonus XP, and you have to justify it. It can be for any reason, whoever told the funniest joke, or you like their shirt, nobody cares. It's just a little bonus, little thing to make you feel good, a little good job, you boost of self-esteem. Right now, we are tied between Adam and Lee. So, unless I get another vote from the chat in the next couple minutes, it defaults to the Black Snow Prince.
It does.
Can you give it to Tom for absolutely no snarky commentary all night long? You totally can. Tom was very well behaved this session. And if you do that, then that means Adam wins the XP vote, if you want to officially change your vote.
Daestra wants to give me the XP he got from last week.
Okay. Yusuf changes his vote to somebody who was not here, which means Adam wins the XP. Oh, Josh for the Shonen Pro tag. That's really good, but Adam still edges him out 4-2.
That's okay.
Or 3-2. I lost count. All right. You wonderful people, thank you so much for making it. Drax, it's great to have you. Thanks for bringing in some new people. We always appreciate it. Daestra, always a pleasure to have you guys here.
God damn it, Daestra.
She's not here for you to yell at, Daestra. You have to message her on Discord or something. All right. All of our people here, everyone in the audience, everyone in chat, thank you so much. We're out.